最初から悪いやつなんかじゃなかった。
もういい黒で犬。
私だって。
終わったんだよ俺たちは。
私だって信じたかった。信じたかったんだから。
最初から悪いやつなんかいない。どこかで間違えたんだなんて私には言えない。間違えたのかもしれないけど、本人にはどうしようもないことってあるからな。
At the end of the day, I think this episode was one of the better episodes. This was the arithmetic bare knuckle fight. And this was basically Nick's ex-girlfriend. I forget her name because she's very not important. I think it starts with a C or something. I don't know. It stars Nick's ex-girlfriend, or at least he considers her his ex-girlfriend, as well as the kitty guy, you know, the cat dude who challenged the group last week. And they challenged them, you know, at the end of the day, you know, to the other thing is like, man, I wonder, like, what, okay, let's say they won, you know, Nick's group, right, the survivalist, they won, and, well, I guess you could say they won, but at the end of it, you know, the cat guy and Nick's ex-girlfriend and the other dude, they were arrested, right, because of violating these specific guild rules, and I'm sure other stuff, right? So they won, in a sense, because of that. But let's say it was the opposite. Let's say Nick's group lost this game. What would they have gained? Just be able to beat the shit out of each other kind of thing? Like, I wonder if that's really all that they really would have gained here, just to say, oh, you know, from Nick's ex-girlfriend, really like, I was able to take you down a peg, you know? And the other piece of it, too, is I was thinking as I was watching this, is like, let's say they did win. Yeah, I guess Nick's ex-girlfriend would have gotten, like, revenge. But at the same time, it's like, would it have felt good that you had to cheat to do it? Like, couldn't you have just done it on your own morals? You know what I mean? Like, on your... And what I mean that is, I don't mean, like, internal morals. I mean, like, by your own ability, right? Like, she seemed smart enough that maybe she wouldn't have gotten, like, a 98 out of 100 on the arithmetic scores and stuff like that. But at the same point, it's like, she seemed smart enough to have done well. You know, so I don't know. It's very complicated. But I do like how the episode did try to get us to feel bad for her too. It's like, I'm not gonna feel bad for this bitch. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it sucks that her situation that she was in, but she made the decisions to get herself to where she's at today, right? So they told us like, oh, you know, originally she was a daughter of two carriage people, like two carriage operators or something. And apparently they got into embezzling funds of some type. I'm assuming they were just stealing money from the people that they worked with. So they got caught up. They probably got let go, like fired. They probably were under the attack of law. And it just seemed like they owed a lot of money. And even she let us know that at some point she had to escape because her parents were trying to sell her off, you know, to get money or to pay back a debt or whatever. And she just basically been living on her own, tricking, right? Like, she's just been doing tricks, you know what I mean? And you can take that however you want to, but that's the way she's been living her life. And up until her last trick, which was Nick himself, and you can tell she's very conflicted about that. Like, she feels bad, at the same time she's like, oh, this effing dude, you know, he's stopping my tricks or whatever. And like, I was like, I'm not gonna feel bad for this girl. You got yourself in this situation, get yourself out, you know what I mean? And the other point, too, is like, okay, I get that she had to go and do tricks on the street and whatnot, too. You know, like, hey, seems like a rough time to be alive. Do what you need to do to survive. But at some point, I feel like she's in a good spot to where, like, she could have turned a new leaf. It seemed like she was trying to save up to basically not have to work or do anything for the rest of her life. It's like, yo, life doesn't really work out that way. You know, like, go be a normal citizen. Go get a job and just be like, I don't know, a guild advisor or something, you know. Go work in a bar or something. Like, go do something that's not you doing what you've been doing or living the good life forever. So it's like, you know, hope they turn their ways around and stuff. And I hope that they come back in the anime later on. But overall, I would say the episode was pretty good. Nothing else really happened outside of that. This was really like the story of them conquering Nick's bad evil shadow, which they now have officially done that. Nick was able to prove a point, and then this was like a telling story for Kieran, because she was now able to learn some things that she didn't know before. And she's now a little smarter than she was before, and that'll serve her well in life. And then this was also good for Kieran and Nick to get closer, because Nick was able to say, hey, you know, I trust in you, and, you know, you got this kind of thing. And he was able to really gas her up a little bit. But I think it's going to be, you know, it's going to do well to them to be even closer to each other, because I think that's like, you know, one of the things that we all want to see is we want to see Kieran and Nick really, like, you know, get together, or what's going to happen there, you know what I mean? Because they definitely are a dynamic as it is. But nothing else happened this episode. I think 8 out of 10 episode, really good. I enjoyed watching it. Love seeing the teamwork. Love seeing them catch the bad guys. Like seeing Nick get revenge in a positive way, right? He was able to weed out some bad, some evil. So all positive. So I thought that was really good. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. Appreciate you guys coming in here today. A little bit under the weather, you know, respiratory stuff. So if you made it to this point, I was breathing like a lot, because I'm like, you know, dying over here because I have like half breaths. But regardless, I appreciate you being here. Put down a comment in the comments below. I appreciate you, my friends, and I'm gonna see you guys next week for episode 6. Last thing I'll say too is, you know, I was glad this episode was better than the last one, because I've been a little shaky on this anime. So definitely nice to see it. But let me know. Hit me up in the comments. See you guys next week.